Load your mind. Hey, what are you doing over there with your nose to the ground? Come on. Annie. All right, guys, welcome back to the bluegrass on this beautiful April afternoon. I'm out with Annie. Annie is a nice little pointer puppy, and we're going to take a walk, and we're going to talk about whether or not a pointer might be right for your family situation, okay? Now, right off the bat, if you know anything about pointers, we don't need to spend a lot of time working on obedience, because no amount of time spent working on obedience is going to translate into a particularly flashy obedience dog, okay? So most of this walk will be out in my pre-adventure area. Come on, Annie. Where we can compare and contrast how Annie moves around, interacts with the environment, and comes back when I call her with the mentor dogs, the black Labrador retrievers that I have. And I mean, here's what you're going to notice about Annie is she's beautiful and she's really fun to watch, and she's got a super pleasant personality, and she gets along really well with the other dogs. But in all honesty, she doesn't like doing obedience too much, right? Okay, so I can come out here and I can get through our formal class work. For those of you who are familiar with my channel, you know that I teach basic obedience on the Exercise to Small Challenges course. I use a conversational style vocabulary. Come, let's go, hup, easy, wait, and stay. And most of the time when I'm demonstrating this, the dogs are like really attentive, and they're following along and looking at me and waiting for me to click and treat. And you'll notice with this little dog that she just kind of ambles through the routine and keeps her nose on the ground, okay? And trust me, it's not because I don't spend a lot of time working with this dog. It's just that she was a dog bred to run away from people and look for birds. And then when she finds birds, she's bred to stand really still and point with her tail up until her handler comes and finds her, okay? Back a long, long time ago, if you go back to where these pointing dogs originated, they would go out hundreds of yards in front of their handlers, and they would find birds, and they would point the birds, and that would give the handlers time to like walk up to where the dog was pointing and throw a net on the birds, right? And I kind of think that's where bird hunting ought to go. It ought to go back away from firearms and towards netting, because that seems much more sporting to me, okay? But watch, I'm gonna try to bring in a little bit more food so that I can hold this dog's attention better. And what I want you to do is go back through some of my other videos and notice, like when I go to mark a good behavior and I push that clicker, notice the lack, the obvious lack of responsiveness this dog has to this noise, even though I'm offering a really good treat, okay? And compare and contrast that with other dogs that you've seen on my channel, especially the Labrador retrievers, okay? You'll notice when I have Labrador retriever puppies out here and we're walking around, they're all mobbing me, waiting to get to that next treat, right? And when this clicker goes off, man, they all jump right up and they look at you and they pay attention. They're super focused. Not this dog, okay? But she's awesome, right? You might say, well, Stonnie, are you disappointed that her obedience is not at the same level as the Labrador retriever puppies? Well, of course not, because you have to judge dogs on a subjective scale, right? So you judge them based on their ability to perform a certain set of tasks, right? So if you have a dog like a pointer that was bred to move away from a handler, it is never going to be as attentive or responsive as a dog that's bred to do a job in close conjunction with a handler, right? So then you might say, well, Stonnie, why would you get this kind of dog? Well, you're fixing to see why you would get this kind of dog, because they're awesome, right? We're going to take a little hike, and we're going to watch her run around, and she can run around all day long, and she's graceful, and she's really happy, and when she finds something to point, which sometimes is a butterfly, sometimes it's a bird, I let her point whatever she wants to, it's really marvelous to watch, because she'll be way down the path, and all of a sudden she'll just lock up, and her tail, shoot up in the air, and she'll just freeze like that, It's not like I taught her to do it. She just hangs out. So all I'm trying to do with this particular little dog is I'm trying to remove the impediments that allows the owner to live in the suburbs with this dog, knowing that the weekly grind of going for a walk on the leash or being in the suburbs is going to be tough on this dog. But if we can get her to be super obedient, the weekend fun of getting to go out and explore the world and spend all day hunting stuff is going to be worth it. Okay, so now we'll walk out back to the pre-adventure area and you guys can compare and contrast. Come on, dogs, come on. Now, one of the things that I show a lot on my channel is, like, I'll take, say, different types of Labrador retrievers out back. I'll take a field-bred Labrador retriever and I'll take some show-line Labrador retrievers, and you'll kind of notice that the field trial dogs literally run circles around the show-line dogs, right? Well, that's especially true if you have a dog like a pointer. Now, there's different bloodlines of these pointers, so some of them range really, really far, and some of them just range kind of far, right? So none of them are going to stay up close, though. And so you got to have a really good recall on your dog, and you have to start at a very young age establishing boundaries so they don't get themselves in trouble. Now, one of the ways I'm able to take this dog out and not worry about her running off is because the mentor dogs, they kind of have a certain amount of drawing power, so she doesn't go too far without them at this age. Now, as she hits the latter stages of adolescence or the early stages of adulthood, these mentor dogs wouldn't have that kind of pull on her, and she would range a whole lot farther. Now, this is going to be the problem that we have with this particular camera, is being able to see her in a distance. So I'm going to use my whistle to try to kind of keep her up a little closer. But that's just, like, as you're watching the video, if you get a little frustrated because you can't see her all the time, well, that's kind of what it's like owning one. Hey, dogs. Very good dogs. They're smart dogs. Oh, Annie's a good dog. She's a very smart dog. And I actually have two Annies. My black Labrador retriever, his name is Annie. So you might hear me talking to one or the other and get a little confused. That's just because there's two of them out here. Now you see Annie, the pointer, is out farther ahead. And let's see if you can sneak up on her there, cameraman. Well, hopefully we'll catch her like really intently focused on something, because I mean, she's really a marvelous looking animal when she's pointing. Come on, Annie. Come on, come on. Oh, look, it's already happening. Go up there, cameraman. Let's see if we can catch her. Now you notice when she starts pointing something, basically she ignores everything I say. Look at that. Isn't that cool though? Now here's the weird thing. Whatever she was pointing probably ended up being something that stinks, and now she's just gonna smell yucky for the rest of the day. All right, that's enough of that. Come on, nerd, get up out of there. Okay, cameraman, let's see if we can walk through here. Now you see already, if you're used to watching my videos, you'll notice that we very rarely have to get off of the trails, because we mow the trails in such a way that the dogs are constantly in motion and coming to find us. Like, we're basically a bunch of figure eights and circles. But you see with Annie that we had to get off. We had to kind of get off in the brush right off the bat. And that's kind of like what going hiking with her is like every time. she's just constantly hunting stuff, you know. Come on, here dogs, come on, come on, come on. Okay, so here comes the labs. Hey, and you'll notice what we don't have. We don't have Annie. So what we're going to do, instead of like standing there and calling for her, we're just going to take off walking, and we're going to take advantage of what's called the rubber band effect. I'm going to make her think that, like, if she doesn't pay attention to what we're doing, she misses out on good stuff. So you'll probably see her pop back into frame at some point here in the next few minutes. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, you want to go down this way, cameraman? Oh, there's Annie. She's a smart dog. Oh my gosh, what a smart dog. Now, this happens to me a lot in the spring. I mean to get out here and get everything trimmed up before the cameraman comes out here. All the stuff snags on the camera, but inevitably I miss something. That's why I carry a Leatherman with me everywhere I go. Come on, dogs! All right, cameraman, if you want to swing up that way. Oh my gosh. At this moment, you're probably thinking, Stonnie, why did you make a video about a pointer and we never get to see the dog? Well, that's the whole point of the video. Guys, look, if you're going to get that kind of dog, you got to be willing to go out and like let them run, okay? Because that's what they want to do. They want to run all day long. And so you kind of watch them run and you panic a little bit because you think they're getting too far away. And then they find something that catches their interest, and with no prompting, they'll just point it, and it makes it all worth it, right? I don't think we're going to be able to capture that on video today just because of the, it's just she's running too far, and this isn't really the kind of camera for that. But, hey, she's awesome. But I just want you to understand, if you're thinking about getting a pointer, you better have a lot of time and a lot of space to exercise them. You know, and then if you think, is it worth it? Well, come on, Annie. It's worth it if you like a beautiful dog with an awesome personality that doesn't do obedience very well, but has one single thing that they do, which is pointing birds, that makes it all worth it, right? This dog here, and I'm telling you, like when people are at the kennel visiting, when she's, come on there. Come on, dogs. Annie, come on. Come on, get back up here one more time. You can do it, come on. Annie, come on. Come on. Oh my gosh, very good dogs. Okay. Listen, well, all right, so I'm just going to leave this in the video right here because that's exactly what I'm talking about, okay? We come out here and we climb this brush pile every day, and most of the time, Annie hops right up here and, you know, she kind of stays around while I'm talking to people that are out here training dogs. And today, for whatever reason, she's just not doing it. And I can't be frustrated with her because, again, she's a dog bred to run away from a handler and look for birds. So if you buy a dog that's bred to run away from you, you can't be mad when they run away from you, okay? But anyway, the point I was making before, and I was hoping she would get up here so you could see her, she really is beautiful when she's out hunting. I like watching her nose to the ground. I like watching her enjoy herself, and I really, really, really like watching her point things, okay? And so for me, I wouldn't pick that kind of dog just because, like, it can be a little frustrating to know that in off-leash environments, they're not going to be, they're not going to be prompt with the recalls. They're going to range a little far. You got to be careful because they can get themselves in trouble. But I do enjoy having them at the kennel every once in a while, but I only want one at a time. All right, so I know that wasn't the best video on pointers because we didn't get to see the dog a lot, but honestly, that's what it's like living with one. You know, for a fella that's pretty good at obedience training and has a pretty good setup for exercising dogs, okay? So judge whether or not you need a pointer based on, you know, how much I struggled with the dog today, right? Do you have more patience than me? Do you have more space than me? If so, maybe a pointer is right for you. Now, before you guys get in the comment sections, for sure, if you like hunting over pointers, then they're right for you, but that wasn't really the focus of this video. So, don't yell at me in the comments. See what I'm talking about? I mean, she has the most clownish personality. We're out back forever, you know, and like she's off running and doing her own thing. And it'd be really easy to get frustrated with her. But if you just love her for who she is, once she's tired, she just comes back and chills out and hangs out close with the other dogs. But look, if you can't handle the fact that the dog's not going to pay attention to you sometimes, most certainly is not the dog for you. You're a very special dog. You're a very special dog. And you're special, and you're special, and you're special. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, let's get the mower out. Very nice dogs.